Hey, so 2020, crazy year. A lot of things didn't go quite the way that we maybe planned at the start. Learned a lot of unexpected things, saw a lot of unexpected things, but also tried to appreciate what it is that we have here at home. So the year started with us, as usual, at the usual pace. We started in Tucson to see the taco drop for New Year's, although it was, it's a tradition in Tucson, maybe one that we aren't used to. After that, we went up to Idaho, where Jay had an invited talk. It was our first time really spending any time in Idaho. Jay also gave a radio interview. We enjoyed the sights. From there, we went down to Arizona. We had a few days in Sedona, which of course is beautiful, and it was a beautiful time of year. I then headed out to LA for work, while Jay took the train separately back home. We continued the travel at our usual pace. We're in Philadelphia for Valentine's Day, which was a lot of fun. And then I went to Chile for a workshop. And this was just as people were starting to worry about the possibility of a pandemic. But went to the Atacama Desert, went to see Alma. The views were beautiful. I'd love to go back there some other time. We got to see people on these trips. We got to be social with friends in the area. All the way through March, which I'm sure helped us deal with the social distancing that was yet to come. So again, it's great to see folks. It was great to see them those first few months, and it really helped us make it through. Of course, since March, we've really only been within a few miles of home, which is a real change from the World Stupendathon tour. But we've been trying to take advantage of the paths and the trails in the area. And we've been trying to make our home as comfortable as we can, including hosting people for some very occasional outdoor visits like that. Over the time of the pandemic, we've continued our hobbies, of course. Jay continued piano lessons. I released an EP before the pandemic. It maybe didn't get quite as much fame as some other musicians have been getting, but I'm still pretty happy with the result. Once the pandemic hit, we participated in Zoom karaoke, and we performed at the DPS Open Mic Night in the fall. Jay and I played a lot of Scrabble over the course of the pandemic, over the course of 2020, with mixed results. Our board game crew has moved online, and I've actually been playing some baseball, some computer baseball, and I've learned SketchUp to try to design some of the ballparks that can be played in that game. Jay's been sketching and coloring. Jay's been patronizing the arts and has even tried a little bit of small-scale farming. Jay also continued their more traditional crafts like jewelry making and doing some quilling, and entered pieces in the Art of Planetary Science contest and won second prize, and has continued collecting quilling books. We've also been able to enjoy wine tasting in 2020, as we have been in past years, including sampling vineyards in Chile and Idaho and in Pennsylvania before the pandemic hit. Julie Rathbun sent us some Finger Lakes wines to enjoy as well. We have also, since 2020, hit the harder stuff. And in that vein, Jay gave a talk to PSI about absinthe. Jay's other talks this year have been more along the usual lines. There was an invited talk in Boise. There was a talk for the Chabot Science Center to a group of students about space ethics, and continuation of our lunar studies as part of the TREX team, for whom Jay is also organizing a workshop for disabled writers. Jay's work also deepened in the fields of ethics, diversity, and inclusion, including participation in a white paper about non-binary planetary scientists for the Decadal Survey, and timely work on remote mentorship, especially since it's a pandemic here. My work also continued, with DART moving toward a launch next summer. Here's the investigation team. I spent a lot of time at the telescope for DART and for my usual research, which meant calling on some of the old rituals to try to see if we can get the skies cleared. We also got out to see Comet Neowise with our eyes and binoculars, and I was involved in several JWST proposals. Jay's proposal submissions were also properly celebrated in the usual way. So as noted, we enjoyed our physical isolation on the break from travel as we could, and still celebrated events together and online. So these included birthdays, a Seder, holidays, periodic get-togethers, and happy hours, and actually included 2 weddings, both of which happened to be the same weekend, as it turned out. We did have one in-person gathering for my birthday at the usual Brat Feast site. We properly accounted for the pandemic, and people stayed the right distance apart and masked. It was wonderful to see people. We had maybe about a dozen people in 2 shifts, so that was really great. Other fall events like a Bratfest and a DPS meeting were held online, again, adapting to COVID. And since they were adapting to COVID, we tried a lot of different things compared to usual, both with our talks and presentations. And one of them actually occurred on Halloween. So this was also the events where we marked the loss of friends and mentors Nadine Barlow and Jay Malash. And of course, staying at home, we were able to get in some tune with the rhythm of the seasons here on the Eastern Seaboard for the first time in a long time. So, looking ahead to 2021 here in the final moments of 2020, we know we have been fortunate in remaining healthy and not losing anyone to COVID, though we know there were close calls. We very much hope to see our friends and loved ones in person as early in 2021 as is safe and no sooner. And we wish for a healthy, happy new year for all of us around the world. So we love you. We look forward to seeing you in 2021.